Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ashley Rose, but you can call me Ash. And before I get started, of course, we are sponsored by Abracadabra NYC, the year-round Halloween store. You can use my @A Rose Distortion listed on the screen on the bottom or in the link in the bio. That will give you 10% off. And also, we are sponsored by Rising Phoenix Cosmetics, which used to be Vampire Cosmetics. Get 20% off on all your cosmetic needs. And of course, check out the new interview with the vampire line. And they also have an alien line, I believe. But that's A Rose CP. That's Charlie Papa Echo. If you're listening to this on audio, I'm actually here with Panu De La Rocka. Am I saying that correctly, Panu?
Yes, yes.
I want to make sure. I don't want to be like, I don't want to be that asshole. But I've been wanting to get you on. I know you've been busy because you do have a new album that is it's almost released, right? On vinyl? Or is it
uh
already released?
yeah, it's done. It's in my hands basically. Well, actually I have my whole apartment full of vinyls and CDs right now, and the release date is October 18th. And I already got the physical copies like I want to say something like a 1 month ago.
Hmm.
And I wanted to basically kind of like have some time to build the promotions and send the copies to people doing the reviews and all this kind of like smart business stuff.
Well, you came on my radar because, one thing is that I'm a big Koffin Kats fan. Like everyone
Mhm.
knows that. You did a song with Vic from the Koffin Kats, and if those of y'all that don't know, basically Invasion of the Robots is when I first you popped up on my radar, and I thought it was pretty cool that let me make it clear to people, you're a guitarist and you're an excellent guitarist, but you do a lot of collaborations with like other people that are vocalists as well. So is that what the basis of the new album is?
You got it half right. I would say that like about half of the songs on my album are like the ones that I'm actually doing the vocals on,
Oh, okay.
and the other half is all kinds of cool guest artists from all around the world, basically, and Vic from Koffin Kats included.
I've been wanting to have you on. It's just that my life had been transitioning from one platform I was working at to my own platform, which we're on now, and on my audio as well. And also, you were doing, a lot of shows. You usually do shows every weekend. So I had been wanting to ask you, but I just hadn't really, with everything going on and me getting over COVID, like you and I were just talking about before we were
Mm,
recording.
mm.
It kind of affected my schedule, but we're back on track. So I'm happy to have you on. First of all, how are you doing? How are things over there?
Here in Finland, everything is fine. Just waiting for the winter, I guess, because here in Finland, it goes in the way that you have a couple of months, just a couple of months of warm summer, and then you have cold and winter, snow, darkness for the like I want to say like for the most of the year. So so in the winter time, it's really dark in here all the time, and in the summertime, it's like really really lights. Like even in the midsummer, we have this one night that the sun doesn't go down at all. So so we have this kind of like a big contrast between the very short summer and the very long winter time.
Thought it was really cool. Like I had told you, I'd been wanting to get in contact with you. For those that do not know anything about you, can you give a brief history as far as you started, how you got involved in the psychobilly scene and the punk rock scene, as far as, musical taste, what led to you wanting to go solo and do your own album? Because I believe you were in a band before.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so where do I start? Okay, first and foremost, like I used to be playing in a lot of metal bands back in the day, I think that my first band started in 2006, and from there it was just like a one metal band after another, like thrash metal, death metal, even grindcore. And but I always had this thing going on, like my friends used to listen to a lot of rockabilly or basically any kinds of billy music, and I always liked that really much. And at some point when I started playing at the metal bands, I still had the kind of like urge to play something. I started basically writing my own songs and basically just playing like rockabilly stuff, but just a little faster because of my metal background, just a little bit more aggressive. And then I basically at some point just discovered that, hey, basically all this is leading up to playing a lot of psychobilly stuff, punk rock stuff. And I started going to these kind of like a summer jamborees where actually 2012 was the first time I met Koffin Kats. They were actually playing here in Finland on this particular jamboree. And yeah, that was also my introduction, like a good introduction to Koffin Kats and seeing them live. And I used to have this one band. I think that that's what you were referring to, called Graveyard Bashers.
That would
Um,
be the one.
yeah. And we had that band for something like, I want to say, about 6 years. We made three releases, and the last two of them were by Lycansten from California, I think. And yeah, after that band basically ended, then I was basically uh, in the situation where I just had kind of like a found new ideas and new interested in playing guitar, learning more stuff, doing better stuff with guitar. And when the band ended, like I was basically on fire, and I was like thinking that no, this cannot stop here. Like I need to do something. I need to write something. And then this whole De La Rocka thing started basically.
I mean, I think, just as artists in general, we kind of feel the need that, like, once something ends, it's like, that's not really the end of anything. It's an opportunity to try something new, and then sometimes it just completely hits you. So
Yeah, and
I
that's
understand that.
that's the saying. Like when one door gets shut, another door opens somewhere.
Mhm. I think a lot of people tend to focus on the negative aspect of something ending versus seeing what's around.
Yeah,
So there's this, isn't there, well, there probably, yeah, there is a saying, there's a forest among the trees.
yeah.
So
But I do get it. Like it's sometimes really hard because I told you that right now I'm going through some other stuff in life with job related stuff. So I can say honestly, like even though I think that I'm a really like a kind of like an optimistic, positive person, it's still gonna be sometimes really hard to, focus on the good stuff.
it's hard to focus on the positive when there's
Yeah,
something that occurs that may be disappointing,
yeah,
and it's tough. I try my best to be as optimistic as I can because if I'm not, who else is going to be?
yeah, absolutely. And
And
also, yeah, and also I think that I've noticed, at least, like I'm just talking on my own behalf, but I've noticed that if you have a lot of negativity around you, like it's it basically it spreads and it infects everybody around them like more easily.
interesting that you say that. I have a friend in pro wrestling, one of the most confident people I've ever met. just confident regardless of whatever the situation is. But he
Mm,
does have, and he has had his down moments. I remember him telling me this years ago, is that, and it's along the lines of something similar that you said. You, when you are around negativity, a lot of it tends to, for some reason, attract more negativity.
yeah, yeah,
It does. And he had said, like after a while, you just can't you just do your best to not look at it. And this was in reference to like social media.
yeah, absolutely.
He's all, you just gotta be like, something's going on with that person.
Yeah,
It's always inward. It's one thing I've learned is that people say things, whether it be positive or negative, that's going to be based off of what they're feeling on the inside. Not to
yeah.
get too deep on here, but but it's that's the idea. Positivity attracts more positive, negative attracts more negativity. So it's kind of,
Yes, I totally agree.
like some people have given me shit for being too optimistic, but I'm like, at the end of the day, if you're not, like, what else you got?
I don't think you can ever be too optimistic. If somebody says that, fuck those guys.
They've got something. It's usually because they're dealing with something.
Yeah,
Things occur, they happen,
yeah.
As far as, we'll go back to your tracks. As far as what you've written on your album,
Hmm.
do you just write the melody and then whoever collaborates writes the lyrics, or does it go both ways? Do you write the lyrics and then they sing the track with their melody?
Oh, that's a good question because it totally depends on whoever I was working with. Because uh, you have as many working methods as you have different like musicians. Everybody has their own style of working, communicating with other people. So basically, every time I started doing a song with somebody, a guest artist, we basically first had to learn each other's like work methods, and after that, it kind of like started working. I mean, like everything just started rolling, I would say. So, but basically, yeah, that was the thing that many people have been asking from me. Like, was it just in the way that you ask somebody, hey, like, what you want to do something for the album, and I just write a song, like a ready to go template, and send it and say that just sing something, write something? No, basically, no. Uh, but I can use the example of Invasion of the Robots, and that's basically I'm trying to remember like what was the exact thing that happened. Yeah, the thing was that I had basically all the other songs ready to go for the album, and I was kind of like even prepared to do the vocals on the Invasion of the Robots song myself, but I kind of like felt that I wanted to ask Vic to do the vocals in it, and of course we've had some like exchange a few words here and there during different festivals where we've seen, but I didn't really know Vic, so I was kind of like hesitating a bit, and then I wrote him in the messenger like and even before I sent the message, I remember that I was like holding my finger on the keyboard, enter, and I was thinking like, what if he says no? Like, what do I do then? Like, can I accept the if he says like no, sorry, I don't have time, and whatever happens, and I don't know. I was for
Better to
some
get a
reason
no. It's better to get a no than to not get an answer at all.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So then I basically like I took a very deep breath and I just pressed enter. And I think that it's probably, let's say, 1 hour later or 2 hours later. I don't remember. He just said like, I didn't even have time to explain the whole situation when Vic already said, yes, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, he's pretty Vic is a pretty cool guy. Vic and,
Yes.
well, pretty much all the Koffin Kats are. Uh
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that you can pretty much ask them if they have an answer. They pretty much, if one doesn't know, the other one will know.
Yes, yes,
You don't come
absolutely.
you don't come
And
across a lot of people like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's been really nice working with Vic. And as you probably seen, after we released the song, we did a lot of like a cross promotion together, and we basically were doing some like a podcasts, like we were both guests in a podcast and this kind of stuff. But still, going back to the topic of actually finishing the song with Vic, it happened in the way that I had like a couple of cool sounding riffs, which were to me like really Koffin Katish riffs. And I sent them to Vic and I explained that I had this kind of like a vision that because we're seeing on the streets like a lot of different kinds of robots, and there's robots like everywhere nowadays, and I was
I don't
thinking
know
like it
what
would be
it's
really
about.
cool to,
That's
yeah, I was
I
thinking
don't
that.
know.
And also there was I don't know if you watched X-Files, or have you watched all the,
I loved the X-Files.
did you see the last, I think, two seasons of X-Files, which were the kind of like new ones?
New ones. I didn't watch the new ones, like the new series, but
Oh, okay. Because there was an episode where I think that it was Mulder. I can be wrong, but I think it was Mulder and not Scully, or was it both? But anyways, they were eating in this kind of like 24/7 Asian restaurant. I mean, sushi restaurants where it was operated by robots.
that's a real thing. That's the frightening thing.
Yeah, and somehow
They're
they
like
managed to
things
piss
rotate.
off the AI, and the AI came after them and started doing revenge. So all these kind of things in my mind, I just wanted to do something like kind of like a song about the invasion of the robots, and
It's gonna happen.
yeah,
Don't call me
so
crazy. It's gonna happen.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
There's a drive-through here at like a hot dog place that when you talk into the drive-through speaker, it's an AI.
Mm.
And it's creepy because it sounds almost like a real person up until they say Coca-Cola.
That's
And you're
crazy.
like, and then you look at it like, oh my God. And then you get to the window and they're like, yeah, you ordered this, this, that. And I'm like, yes.
Okay, I do not want that in
It, it's
Finland.
it's here in my hometown, Texas. I'm telling you, it's a real thing. I tripped out. My sister's bank, there's no tellers anymore.
Oh.
Everything is ATM. Like put the cash in, you can pick whatever bills.
Yeah,
You have you don't like AI, do you?
no. I could go on for hours
It's
about
it's
not like liking AI.
it's a double-edged sword in my opinion. It could be
Yeah,
good for some aspects, but it's getting too good.
yeah. Yeah, and it can be like a very helpful tool at different sectors. But still like it's just like well, that's I think that what's gonna happen is what always happens, like you invent something new, people get fucking lazy, and then they kind of like trust everything to whatever they just invented, and that's not how you do it.
It's happening right now.
Yeah,
It's happening right now.
yeah,
It's
and
it,
yeah,
it's
that's
it's creepy. It is when you think of it that way.
yeah. But anyways, again, going back to how we finished making the song, because I have this kind of, how do I say, like I have this tendency that if I start ranting about something, it takes kind of like a different paths, and at some point I need to really focus, like, okay, what was the original story I was telling about?
Yeah, hey, yeah, let's go back.
Okay,
We're gonna
sure. So anyways,
we will
I
talk about AI later
yes.
another
So
day.
so what I did, I sent my idea, like I want to do a song about robots. Maybe it could be even called like a robot invasion of, or invasion of the robots. And then I think like 2 days later, Vic sent me basically ready to go lyrics and this kind of demo vocals. And I was wondering like how can you send me like a ready to go vocals, because I didn't even send you the full song. And and Vic told me that, trust me, when you listen through the vocal track I made for you, uh, everything is just going to like find its place. And I was like, okay, sure. Then
Yeah.
I started listening the vocals that Vic made, and immediately in my head I could hear the whole song from start to finish, and I was like, "Hot damn, you're right." And then I finished the structure of the song, and then Vic did the final takes for the vocals, and I basically started like at that point finishing other small things like guitar solo and whatever, this kind of things where you don't actually need uh, more work on the vocals anymore. So basically that's how it came together. But on all the other songs with all the other guest artists, it was always different, like how everything found this kind of thing, like yeah. But yeah, I think that the example of Invasion of the Robots was just a good example, like on how one song came to be.
It's a good track. Vic is very good at, and I've always admired as far as, the Koffin Cat songs is the ability to tell a story.
Yeah.
Every Koffin Cats song is a story.
Yes.
And I think people fail to like realize that because they have like a ton of albums. It's been like 20 over 20 years that they've been together.
Yeah, and everybody has their favorite, like some like the newer stuff, and some like the older stuff, and some like the stuff in the middle. And
Uh-huh.
I've talked with Vic about this, and he's totally cool that he always says like, yeah, like he gets it. Like everybody has their like no matter what, they're Koffin Kats fans, but they have their own kind of like
Preference. And I
thing.
also think
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
more or less, the time period in the genre of when they first either saw the band or came across them. So
yeah,
that's always going to be their go-to is that
yeah. That's true.
um
Absolutely.
like I like the older stuff and stuff after Born from the Motor, like that era,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
just because they sound similar. But
Yeah.
when I listened to the Coffee Cats, when I discovered them, it was like 2006.
Yeah.
So that's where like my like preferences is the first like
Yeah.
albums. But I like some of the other stuff too. Eh.
Yeah. And this, because I have my own preference. So basically, this was kind of like I want to say like my chance to showcase like this is my favorite era of Coffin Cats, like how Invasion of the Robots sounds like.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it. Uh, on to other things, a lot of people don't know a lot of stuff about you. So I see that you have a PlayStation logo in your background.
Absolutely.
PlayStation, or do you like gaming in general? Just in general? Or
I'm
you
a
devoted
gamer.
to that
I'm a gamer. I'm a
that
geek.
console?
Yeah, I have like I used to something like I think that's something like 2 years in the past. I still had like a PlayStation 3, 4. I had the PlayStation 5. I had the VR headset for PlayStation 4. I still have like a PSP, Vita, Nintendo DS. And now I have like what do you call the newest version of Xbox? It's Series X, I think.
Yeah, I have the newest version of Xbox. I was more about PlayStation, but I couldn't get 5 here.
Yeah.
So, go back to Xbox. What's your favorite gaming genre? Do you like shooters? Do you like survival horror? You like
RPG.
RPG? Oh, okay. So you're an RPG.
RPG. Right now, I'm going through Baldur's Gate 3,
I hear a lot
but
of good things about that.
yes, it's a perfect RPG. Like every time I start the game and just start progressing through it, like I just have this stupid wide grin on my face all the time. But then again, the same kind of grin I have on my face when I'm playing basically almost any of the Resident Evil games. So there you
I'm
go,
a big
another soundtrack.
Resident Evil fan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
And my favorite is the seven. The first time I ever finished it was with PlayStation 4's VR headset, and it was it was immersive, immersive.
I like 2 and 4.
Uh-huh.
So those are more or less my favorites, but I love Resident Evil. I actually have like a Resident Evil Umbrella Corp like rug over here on this side.
Oh, that's cool. I actually have a lot of, well, I have a kind of like a bookcase here, which is filled with all the nerdy stuff. I have a statue of Batman and Wonder Woman battling from Injustice game, the first one,
Mm-hmm.
and
Like that game.
I have a lot of bubble heads and a replica of the Pip Boy from Fallout 4.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
My friend
and
Jessica is a big Fallout fan.
yeah,
My friend Jessica Havoc, she's a wrestler at TNA. She's
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so she's a big Fallout fan.
That's really cool. And
Yeah.
the series was great. I don't know, did you see
Yes. I didn't watch it, but I heard it was great.
it?
And I was like kind of glad to hear because you never know what like when people are adapting like games into shows or movies.
Yeah,
Very hit or
yeah.
miss.
Okay, so now it seems that you should start preparing some kind of like a bucket list, which includes the newest seasons of X-Files, the Fallout series. What else?
So we've talked that, you dig, some survival horror, the Resident Evil franchise. Uh,
Yeah.
how cool are the remakes of them?
Well, I was about to ask you because you told me that you like 2 and 4.
Hmm.
So were you kind of like just only referring to the original ones? Because I like those a lot, but still the remakes of both of those are like really good.
I like the remakes. I played all of them, but
Mm,
I played all of them except for the most recent one. It's just been sitting in my console. I haven't touched it yet,
yeah.
but I'm going to. I just haven't gotten around to it. But I have the classic and the remake.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
like the remakes because the remakes are really, really good.
Yeah, and they're more accessible on the current consoles, and you know,
Mhm. Some of them you can even play on Apple now, like iPad now.
hmm,
It's nuts to me.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
Technology.
the only technology we like,
Yeah,
not AI. It's the only technology we enjoy.
yeah, absolutely.
Does that make us hypocrites? I don't think it does. I think it's completely two different things. Uh,
Yes.
but yeah, I that's why I was like, you game because I see you got a gaming chair, you got a secret lab chair, you got
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
PlayStation there.
Yeah,
Uh,
but actually, I want to say something like which is actually like really related to all this kind of like music stuff and
mhm,
also this kind of like a geeky stuff. The fact some people have been asking me like because I'm also like some I write lyrics
mhm.
and especially all the songs where I've been doing my vocals. I've written all the lyrics. And people have been asking like don't you think that it's a little bit like I, I don't know. Don't you think like it's a little bit cliche to write about all the kind of like robots and
No.
all this horror stuff and whatever? And actually, that's kind of like a conscious decision from my side because the thing is that many musicians, good friends of mine, for example, I know a lot of people who write about their own life, their own emotions and experiences, and I kind of like want to escape from that, like all the kind of like a negative stuff and all the kind of stuff that you could write songs about. That's not me. I've never been that guy. Like if something negative happens to me, I basically just want to, like forget about it and move on. And playing games like video games and watching movies, it's kind of like my way of getting my head somewhere else. And that the same thing applies to writing songs. Like I just want to write about some stuff where I can get my
It's an
uh
escape. It's
yes, absolutely.
it's you know, it's a it is a conscious decision. And I think horror rock in general, whether it be horror punk, horror rock, horror metal,
Mm,
horrorcore, psychobilly. I always can include psychobilly in that genre because it's kind of along the lines. The majority of the songs you will hear from popular known bands, yes, half of it is, I would say a little, maybe a little bit less than half, or half of it will be
mm,
personalized songs, but most of it is very horror based, whether it
yeah.
your decision. And I don't think it's
Mm,
cliche. I mean, bands continue to do it to this day. It's entertainment,
yes.
and everyone's here to, my opinion, should have a good time. It shouldn't be,
Yeah,
it doesn't
yeah,
have to be so
absolutely.
serious.
And like as a songwriter and also an enjoyer of the music, I think that whatever the song is about, the lyrics, it doesn't matter as long as it sounds fucking cool.
As long as it sounds cool or looks cool, that's pretty.
Yeah. And it can be like a really cliched kind of like a topic. For example, I want to throw another example of a song from my album called Beer, Blood, Rock and Roll. I don't know if you've heard it.
You have a video for it.
Yes, and that has the guest vocals of Titch from this very old psychobilly band called Klingons. By the way, a very cool name for a band.
I mean,
Yeah.
they were in like every single version of Star Trek you can think of. So
Yes. Yes. But anyways, the point was that the song is called Beer, Blood, Rock and Roll. And basically the title tells it all. It's like a really heavy hitting, like a punk rock song with upright bass, mind you. But anyways, many people have been saying like the song was released, I think, 1.5 years or a year ago. Anyways, people have been just saying again and again and again that when they hear the song, they start feeling very primitive feelings. Like, like drinking and going out on the town just
yeah,
to make some trouble.
pretty much. I I mean, I haven't drank in like it's going on 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
And to me it's like in my preference it's more nostalgic.
Yeah.
So I think it hits, differently.
Yeah.
But
I actually had an American friend visit me for a week just now, and when I told him that I'm not actually a heavy drinker, like I do enjoy alcohol here and there, but I'm not a heavy drinker. He was kind of like disappointed. He said to me like, "But what about beer, blood, and rock and roll?" And I said that, well, first of all, Titch wrote the lyrics, not me. And then he was like, "Oh, now I get it."
well, you let him down.
For a moment.
And then you realize, no, I used to be a really heavy drinker, like bad. I
Oh,
can't remember some shit.
oh, okay.
So, yeah, party time. Every weekend it was party time. But yeah, I guess I grew out of that
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you can just think that it was a phase
a
in
long
the past.
a
Yeah.
long a long 10 something year phase on and off.
Yeah.
On and off. But I'm happy, like just in general with things and how things have turned out for me. Uh,
Yeah,
I
there's so
wouldn't,
many other things you can enjoy in life, you
yeah,
know.
you come to realize that, and also like I life is about like mistakes, you got to make them to like learn,
Yeah.
and that's the important thing. It's just learning. So I honestly, there was a time that I was very much like, I wish I could change this, but now
Mm.
I don't. I don't. I really don't. I wouldn't be here doing this.
Yeah,
And I've been
I,
doing it
I
for years.
yeah, I feel the same. Like so much things I could have done differently in the past, but then again, it would have not landed me right here where I'm right now.
So, where can people follow you? Where can they see you? I know you play shows like every weekend. So,
Not every weekend. I would,
oh, stop. Yes, stop.
but every month almost. But anyways, yeah, people can
Almost. Oh,
yeah, but people can follow this De La Rocka stuff on social medias, for example, Facebook, Instagram, uh, and TikTok even. And the handle for all those places is the same. It's always De La Rocka Music written together. And also on my YouTube channel, you can find 3 music videos. Actually, the newest video was released just a week ago, and that was together with these Brazilian legendary psychobilly guys called 616ers.
hmm.
We made a cool collaboration music video with those guys. I think you've seen at least some
Yeah.
clips of that one also.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was basically that music video we released a week ago was pretty much like the launch of the pre-order of the album. So also I have a website, like my official website is www.delarocca.com, and there's like a kind of like a discography and all kinds of like info about the upcoming shows. But also there's a web store where people can pre-order the album right now. I ship worldwide, and I can actually show I was
I was gonna say,
prepared.
show it. I was all
Yeah.
show the record.
Yes, here it is. The vinyl version. Let me actually remove some stuff so I can actually see myself, like what am I showing you? Okay, so here is the vinyl. It includes 12 songs. It's got like a really cool, a little bit comic book style cover design, and I can show you it comes with this cool insert, some
I'm all
photos of
about
this.
inserts. I'm so
Yeah.
disappointed that people don't put inserts in their vinyls anymore.
Yes, and the vinyl comes in 2 colors, and this is the other one. It's
That's nice. Is that like an oxblood color? Like a
uh
purplish burgundy type color?
it's actually like a purple, and it's just a little bit translucent, so you can see that there's actually like this random patterns of black smoke going inside.
Okay, that's why I think it's oxblood.
Oh, okay, sure.
The
And
color like of the boots.
yep, yep. And the other color is actually like a translucent red, which is also really, really cool. And let me show you the CD version as well. It's got one bonus song because why not? Just a little bit more reason to get also the bundle where you can get the CD. Uh, there you go. And yeah, you can get these right now from the my web store website.
And it'll be on the screen, everyone, and also in the description. So, and if you're listening on audio, just click the description. It's going to be there. I'll have the link there. It'll be there. Oh.
Hell yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time today.
Thank
And
you so much for inviting me. This was really, really nice.
oh, well, thank you. All right.